You got an opening thing or?
No. Yeah, just ready to rock.
What do you think about Texas Tech radio guys getting suspended? Anyway, no. Did you see that? I'm not asking you.
I did not,
They got
but
suspended for bitching about the officials the other day in football. What? Okay, you said that you and Hunter have meet in your office. How can you go over that? What do you talk about and how?
yeah, so I think it's important with Tyrese because we're giving him so much responsibility and we have so much confidence in him that on a daily basis he continues to know from me, exactly what we're looking for. What does it mean for him defensively? What do we need for him to set the tone? And he needs to see what it looks like, and then I need to help coach him through that. But then especially offensively, just in terms of the opportunities he has to make plays, to know what the right play is for our team, to know how to make those plays based on shot clock, time and score. He needs to understand when it's time to push it, when it's time to run offense. So there's so many things going on, and now he has to do that against teams that are playing 4 or 5 different defenses every night. So I just want to make sure that there's going to be a learning curve to it. There's going to be part of you just need to get the game minutes and the experience and log those minutes under your belt. But I want to make sure that he knows each day that I'm in it with him and we're working on it and sorting through it together, that he doesn't feel like he's on an island trying to figure it out by himself.
Do you guys have regularly scheduled meetings or?
Yeah, we do afternoon team building at like 4:30 on most days. And so he and I have usually found that time just prior to that where we can find 15 minutes to just go through and refresh some things. And I think it's going to be important for his development that I continue to make that investment in him, because the thing I do know about him is he really wants to get better and he really wants to get it right. And there's a lot coming at him. And so he'll continue to improve, and I need to continue to put the time in.
Is it a point guard thing, or is it did you do that with any true freshman that was playing a significant role?
Yeah, I'd say the point guard thing is
okay.
certainly a factor with him, because he's just, there's so much on his plate, right? Like he's kind of setting the tone for how we guard the basketball, and then he's setting the tone for the pace we play with on offense, whether we fly it up or whether we kind of like set it up. So I'd say I'm not that we wouldn't spend time with other guys at other positions, but I do think the fact that he's that he's in that starting point guard position as a freshman just makes it a greater sense of urgency.
Okay.
I think that Alabama State was the first time that we saw both Trey Jackson and Tyrese Hunter on the floor. Is that something you were just experimenting with, as you're getting on early in the season, or is that something we're going to see more of as the season goes on?
Yeah, I think ultimately it's a lineup that I'm open to. Certainly, playing with 2 guards that are closer to 6 feet in height could pose some challenges defensively in terms of length and rebounding. But it's those guys' responsibility when we call upon that lineup that they make it go the way that we need it to go, which we should, in theory, have better ball pressure, multiple ball handlers, more playmaking, and things along those lines. So I'd say with us, like, pretty much everything's in play, and night in and night out, whatever is working, more to our advantage or benefit is what we'll go with. And we've already seen that in 3 games in terms of combinations and lineups and those sort of things.
What has your team gained in terms of just chemistry by playing together in 3 actual games compared to practice?
Well, the game experience is certainly different than practice. You can't simulate having fans and the emotions and the anxiety and everything that goes into it. So getting those games under your belt, you have a baseline and a framework to move forward with your group. I think in each game there's things that we did well, and there's a lot of things we can improve upon. And so in the end, when you're in the heat of the battle, you're trying to find a way to win that game. You don't want to leave any games on the table that you have a chance to win. And so I think that helps build confidence as a group. Now, look, as a coach, there's a lot of things that we need to do better and we need to have more urgency on. And I know that there will be a lot of talk about the fact that we were 1 for 20 from 3-point and what's the shooting and all those sort of things. But if our guys have attention to detail and taking the right shots, we're going to make them. It's just that there's been times we've been a little bit casual in shooting shots quickly and out of rhythm. And then now when you miss a certain amount, then it becomes a thing, because you miss you start 0 for 8 or, then it lives in guys' heads.
Is there a story, excuse me, a story behind Caleb coming here with you?
Well, I would just say, like, the neat thing for Caleb is he grew up wanting to be a Cyclone. He grew up watching those teams with Matt and Naz and Monte and George and that whole group. And that's where he fell in love with college basketball. And growing up in Big 12 country, I always wanted to play at Iowa State. On the other side of it, we started recruiting him really early. I saw something in him. I believed in him, invested in him. We kind of poured in that relationship together. So the neat part of the story is that we're here together, because I think ultimately if you'd have asked Caleb in high school, where would he ideally have gone to college? He'd have said Iowa State. If you'd asked Caleb, who's the coach you want to play for? I think he'd have said, it's me. And so the fact that, crazy circumstances and variables that have come along to lead us back to that point, but I really believe that Caleb's where he's supposed to be, I'm where I'm supposed to be, and we're here together.
Yeah.